Hey y'all, welcome back to Cosmosis or Whatever, the podcast all about everything in the universe and how it is all connected. I am Celia, your host, Celia Marie 1243. I am a psychic medium. I am a fairy tarot sister. I am an energy worker and a spiritual mentor. And so this podcast, like I said, is all about, the idea that everything is connected. If you really look at the actual word cosmosis, by definition, it's this idea that becoming one with the universe should be something that we aim for as part of our existential purpose, right? So in my own way, I kind of interpreted that as coming to understand that everything to ever exist across dimensions is connected, right? Kind of like the butterfly effect. I definitely want to do an episode on the butterfly effect and like how that ties in with the whole idea of cosmosis. But anyway, so everything I feel, right? This is my own thing, but I really feel that everything in its own way is a piece of something else. I think that there are messages. I truly believe, it's not just a thought, it's a belief that there can be messages in everything. Should there be messages in everything? Not always, because that can be very draining, and that's another episode. But I think life itself is a spiritual experience. I catch myself sometimes saying, when I started my spiritual journey, and I really realized that being born or even pre-birth, right? You're already experiencing a spiritual connection. It's already there, whether you're on a spiritual path, religious path, whether you believe in spirit guides or not, whether you like tarot or not, or think it's a real thing, whether you divine, whether you have a relationship with God or you're an atheist. I just feel like it is all a spiritual experience. We all have our different paths, and yeah, so on this episode, I'm actually going to be talking about cutting my hair and how that has been a very deeply healing and spiritual experience for me. Honestly, it's me wanting to tear up. Damn, it's always the tears. Ciao. Let's play a drinking game. How many times is Celia gonna cry during this? Don't get alcohol poisoning, okay? Please. Okay, so a little bit of background on me. I will be 30 years old at the end of this year, November 2022. I'll be 30 years old. So my Saturn return is ending. I did an episode on that before. If you don't know what that is, check that out. But so I just cut my hair. Oh, what month was it? I think it's been like a month now, just over a month. Oh yeah, no, I just did the math the other day. The 23rd of July was a month for me. So June 23rd, I cut my hair. My hair was about, I didn't measure it, but I want to say it was probably close to 20 inches straight. I have curly hair. If you guys don't know what I look like, if you're listening to this, you probably do. But if you want to see the evidence, check out the social medias. You'll see. But yeah, I think my hair started off around 20 inches, I would say, straight. And I chopped off a good maybe 10 inches in most places. So I did a cute little buzz right around the bottom. I've always wanted an undercut, honestly, and I didn't know I would be doing it this way, but here we are. And then it's longer on the top. It's probably closer to 10-12 inches on the top. So yeah, that's a pretty drastic change, right? For somebody who my hair, that's the first time I've cut my hair, right? It's taken almost 30 years to really cut it in that way, in a drastic way. And I know a lot of people, like friends, or even like the people in the barber shop when I was cutting it, they were like, oh, you cut your hair, you're about to change your life. And I definitely really feel that energy, but I want to be really honest about all of the sides of it, right? Give you guys a little bit of an inside scoop to how I'm actually feeling about it, because if you've seen a couple of my posts, or maybe you've heard me talk about it on TikTok, it's not all peaches and cream. Just to, like you chop your hair off and then all of a sudden your life completely changes and like you're just like the best ever. I feel like it's a process that I'm probably gonna be going through, like as it grows back out, and as I'm like learning how to navigate it. By saying that, I don't want to say that I like regret it at all, because I absolutely don't. I think this was absolutely the best choice for me, but I just don't think, maybe it wasn't what I expected, or it kind of was, but I just want to get into some of those nuances, right? So a little bit more information about me. I grew up in a pretty strict household, especially as far as appearance is concerned. I mean, I guess in a lot of different ways, but my parents were very strict about, I grew up in a household of all girls, right? I'm the oldest out of 5 sisters. Our household was pretty strict on appearance. So I wasn't allowed to wear makeup. Not gonna lie, I snuck it. I wore makeup anyway, because that's just the rebel that I am. But I wasn't allowed to until probably like late high school, I would say, like late high school. I know I was like sneaking mascara. I was sneaking mascara in junior high. I would put it on the bus. Mom, if you're listening to this, she probably already knew, because I mean, mascara isn't something that just comes off really easily. But anyway, so yeah, high school, I wasn't allowed to pluck my eyebrows until prom. I think my mom plucked my eyebrows for the very first time to get me ready for prom my senior year, which is, I'm just saying these things to kind of give you guys an idea. I wasn't allowed to dye my hair, I think, until like senior year too, junior, senior year. And if you guys know me, I'm a very expressive, like creative person. And I feel like, the way that you look has a lot to do with that, especially as a kid, right? Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt really constricted in a lot of ways, I would say, growing up, that I couldn't really express myself the way I wanted to. If you guys knew me when I was younger, I would put together a lot of crazy like outfits, like color combinations. I'm a creative, right? So I couldn't do that with my hair. We were not allowed to cut our hair. So I'm also Polynesian, right? My dad is Black. My mom is Samoan and Filipino. In Samoan or Polynesian culture especially, you don't really cut your hair, right? Like, it's not a thing. So there's something in Polynesia called mana, and it's like your power, it's your energy, it's in a way, I guess, your kind of like aura, but it's passed down from generation to generation. It's something that, powers you. It's something you have pride in, that you tap into in everything that you do. In my interpretation of it personally, is just kind of like source energy, right? Your unique blueprint of source energy amongst you and your soul family and stuff like that. And so for that reason, you don't really cut your hair, right? It has all of the energy. Think about it. When you were a baby, some people were born with hair. I was born with a decent amount of hair as a baby. I looked like a little China doll, honestly. I was like super, super pale, and I had really straight, thick, like long hair, I would say, for a baby. So yeah, I didn't get a whole lot of haircuts or anything growing up, my dad was really weird about us cutting our hair. He would always say, you know, oh, you're going to cut your hair and it's not going to grow back. I think that's just like a thing in Black culture, honestly. And being mixed, I feel like added some extra stuff in there just because, you know, my mom not really being familiar with like Black hair textures, and, you know, my dad being a man who is now bald. I feel like there was, you know, confusion around the whole hair thing. For a while in junior high, I was like bullied for my hair. In elementary too, I was bullied for my hair, stuff like that. That's all just to give you like background on the hair thing. But like I said, I'm a very creative person. I'm a very expressive person, and for some reason it has always been on my bucket list to cut my hair. You know, at least once. I always said, like, at least once I want to cut my hair really, really short. But I will say that the idea of that had always kind of scared me. And even thinking about it, it still scares me. Even though I did it, like, it kind of freaks me out sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, when I look in the mirror, I low-key don't recognize myself. But I think that has triggered me to really meditate, right, deeply on why I've cut my hair. Why was it hard for me to cut my hair? How important it was for me to do that. Another thing about me, I joined the military at the age of 18, right? And so there's a lot of discrimination against, you know, Black hair textures, ethnic hair textures in the military, whether you know it or not. I had a hard time with sometimes getting braids or, you know, so a lot of times I avoided those types of styles just because I didn't want to have to deal with people's mouths. And even the times that I did, I would make sure that I was in regulation, that I always had like the rules printed out in my pocket, and I got checked all of the time. So I feel like, you know, there's this huge cultural thing around hair. There's a very spiritual thing around hair. And I've been experiencing all of that as I've gone through this big chop, this hair journey. I just saw 1, 2, 4, 3. But anyway, so a month after I've cut my hair, I recorded some videos before I actually cut off my hair, and most of them were like not great quality. Like, it was just like random. I think I might still post them though, just because I feel like it's raw, you know, it's very raw footage. I was crying. My skin looks like shit. My hair looked a little bit crazy in some of them. But yeah, I think I should be posting those. I feel like that wasn't like my intention when I came on here to like say that I was going to do that, but here we are. So yeah, some of my reflections on cutting my hair right after this. Okay, so my reflections, right? Now that it has been a full month since I cut my hair, I don't know too. I was just thinking about it. I'm kind of, I don't want to say scared, but like I'm kind of hesitant to post the videos of me right after I got my hair cut, just because I was like just excited. There was a lot of adrenaline happening, but I honestly noticed like I did not really like how it looked, and it's definitely been a learning curve to figure out how to style it and stuff like that. And so I'll probably insert that into the clips as well, kind of explaining that. But so why was I scared to cut my hair in the first place? I really feel like chalked up into some, you know, straight to the point type of things. Like, I think I was scared of losing my sense of femininity. And, you know, I feel like that, here we go, about to cry. Do you have your drink? Take a shot. I feel interestingly embarrassed to admit that, honestly. and I'm not quite sure why. I feel like I'm working through all of this in real time, so bear with me. But yeah, like, I think as a society we have this idea that, you know, long hair is beautiful, and, you know, if you're bald or if you have shorter hair or, you know, alternative style, like I would say, you know, having short hair the way that I think I did it, to me anyways, the way that I was culturally raised with, you know, the stigmas that I grew up with, I feel like, you know, that is an alternative hairstyle. So I feel like for me, I was scared to lose my femininity. And, you know, culturally, it is definitely looked down on. I went to my sister's wedding, not that long ago. I got back and I cut my hair. I decided to cut my hair right before her wedding. And I was going to wait till after. And I think at first I don't want to say she was mad at me. I didn't actually ask her, but everybody was shocked, to say the least. But I feel like it was kind of just one of those things that I had to do for me. And I'm really, really glad that I did it. Along with the femininity thing, you know, as a queer woman, right? As a queer woman, I feel like there was more behind it than that too, because I haven't talked about that too much on here, and I plan to in the future. But I do, like, as a kid, being a queer kid, it's me stuttering. Me being a queer child and growing up in a society, again, that does not accept those types of things, being told that, you know, that's disgusting or it's wrong, or that had an effect on me too, because, you know, as a kid, I didn't want to be perceived that way. Even though I knew that about myself, I did not want to be perceived that way, because I felt like if you could see it, you would treat me a certain way, or you would know something about me. And that's a whole different conversation, but it definitely plays into why I was scared to cut my hair in the first place. And, you know, overall, it was just change. Is something that I'm not used to, and I'm still getting used to it. Also, I feel like I'm a very low maintenance person. If y'all know me in real life, or, you know, if you've gotten to know me on, you know, social media or through readings or whatever, like, I'm very low maintenance. I've always kind of been that way. I like to have different hairstyles, but I don't like to do my hair. That sounds bad, but whatever. I just don't want to have to be in front of the mirror for an hour every day, you know, after I do all of my regular maintenance, shower, brush my teeth, whatever. Like, I'm very simple in that way. And so I don't want to have to take a long time on things, and having short hair has definitely challenged that. And I knew that it would kind of be that way, because now I have to get my hair cut every so often. I was also scared of, like, the weird awkward phase that I feel like I'm actually going through now because of the texture of my hair, especially in the places where it's a lot shorter, because my hair is curly. I noticed a lot about my texture in cutting my hair. I have like 3 different textures kind of going on. I have like a 3A situation, 3B situation, 3C in some places, for those of you guys who know the little hair textures. If not, you can look it up and kind of see what I'm talking about. But some places where it's kind of like too short, it's too short to curl, but it's too long to stay flat. I'm literally looking at it right now in my like phone screen, and like I could just see it sticking off of my head. And so, you know, when I had long hair, I could just kind of throw it up in a bun if it wasn't cute. But I can't do that anymore now, right? I mean, I could, but it would be crazy looking. So yeah, those are some of the reasons that I was scared to cut my hair. But some of the reasons why I'm glad that I did cut it, I think in this whole experience, I have noticed how attached to appearance I am and other people are, right? Because, I chopped my hair off. I'm constantly changing and growing and learning and whatever, but I'm still the same person that I was before. I feel different. I look different. But, at my core, I'm the same Celia that I was with long hair. And I think that's been very eye-opening. And, I know those types of things when you go into it, but really doing it, I feel like makes a difference. I feel like another reason I'm glad I did is because I'm discovering a different way to tap into my femininity, right? And I don't inherently think that short hair is not feminine. Again, I think that's a conditioned thing that I've really been hanging on to a lot. So I feel like this is a good opportunity for me to step out of my ego. Honestly, step out of my ego, step more into my energy purely as me being who I am and not having to rely on my appearance as a way to present my energy, basically, right? I think it's fun because I get to experiment. You guys know I'm a creative. I've said that. I always say that we are spiritual. We are, these infinite souls, but we get a human body during our lifetimes on Earth, right? And they're like our avatars, and you can still have fun and experiment with them. And I feel like this is, even though it's been a little bit challenging and I still struggle with it and I still don't recognize myself sometimes in the mirror and I still miss my hair, it's a good opportunity for me to get creative in that way too. But overall, I feel like it's just a reminder that I am more than my hair. I'm more than my hair. I'm more than my appearance. I am more than people's opinions of me. A lot of people have been telling me oh, you're so brave. Not everybody can pull off short hair. And I do feel like that does help me feel better. But at the end of the day, I did do it for me. And I'm proud of that. I'm going to cry again, take a shot. It's a reminder to me that I can do hard things, that I can start over from the beginning, that I can, it was a cleanse in a way for me. The hair that I chopped off, that hair has been with me for some time. I don't know how long, but it's been with me for a while. So it's really just a reminder that, I'm in a different chapter of my life. I can do hard things. I'm a badass, so I just wanted to reflect on all of that. I also I hope that this is motivation for you guys, anybody who's looking to make a big change in their life, whether it's appearance-wise or something else. You want to take a big leap. If you feel like that's the right thing for you, even if it's scary, do it. There's so much learning, so much growth, so much opportunity to get to know yourself. And it's only been a month, and I'll kind of update you guys as I go, and I'll make sure I post those other videos. But hopefully this has given you something to think about as far as how we perceive looks and energy in our society as far as appearance, how we judge ourselves, how we judge others based on those appearances, what they actually mean, how those things can vary from culture to culture. Just planting seeds per usual. But I hope this has been interesting for you guys, and I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Bye.